So David, now you are a lead AP. What exactly is that?
Well, it stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, accredited professional. So I can't be, the wrong term to use is saying I'm lead certified, I'm a lead AP, I'm an accredited professional. A building is what a site or a project is lead accredited, certified, I'm sorry. So basically it's construction or design, the whole phase from going from design to construction, and doing it basically where you're environmentally and energy friendly, where you can save more energy and where you can affect the environment in a more positive way. So obviously, you've heard of going green. Everything's going green
Sure.
nowadays. I would look at it as lead AP is kind of like that. When the engineer is designing the building, he's trying to design it so the stormwater has less effect on the environment. He tries to design so the plants don't need to be watered or sprinkled. It can live off just the natural irrigation, just the natural rainfall. And so, as a surveyor, really I don't have a role in that, other than they offered the test if anybody could take the test, so I figured I should take it and see if I can pass it. And so I did, and I passed it. And to be honest, I've always claimed that I could pass any multiple choice test. The lead AP exam was multiple choice, but it was extremely difficult. I really had to study for it. A lot of memorization. It was a very tough test. But what I think it does is I think it allows our clients to see that, well, if I can pass a lead AP exam, a lot of them took that same exam, so they can benchmark what type of knowledge I have. They can say, well, Dave's a surveyor and he passed that. So I think it lends, validation to the fact that I'm not just your average surveyor.
Sure. And you just mentioned it is rare for a surveyor to have that type of accreditation. And do you think that when people see that people who are also lead AP, they know that you have the same goals in mind that they do when it comes to a project? Even though you won't be working on it exactly, you know where they're coming from with it.
Yes, I think they would know that. They know that I had to go through the same test as them. They know that I either know all the material inside and out. So basically, I know that they're trying to conserve energy, that they're trying to conserve water. I know what the architect and the engineer and the mechanical engineer are trying to do, the civil engineer and so forth. I know the end result they're trying to do. I know that they're trying to conserve waste. They don't want to haul a lot of junk to the landfill. I know that they're trying to use reused products, recycled products. So, yeah, definitely a construction manager on a site who was lead AP and I being a lead AP, they would know that I knew what the final goal was, and I could maybe even help with that a little bit. And I say I'm not a big part of that, but I think there's certain things when it comes to protecting the environment, the natural habitat and stuff. I could say, look, this is the problem. I could point it out to somebody. You can't take and destroy that much habitat if someone made a mistake or something got changed. So I think it is a benefit. And every team that's trying to get LEED certified, every project, they get a point for a lead AP on the team. So who knows? Someday, maybe they need a lead AP, someone left or something, I could be that. And probably not, because I think you probably have to be a design professional or construction professional, but you never know what the future holds.
Sure. And it's a commitment to the same principles.
Yeah.
So
it is that. It's a commitment to the same principles. It tells them that we're on the same project team. We're all pointing in the same direction. And I think that's probably, makes them feel better about the project. I'm not just some hired gun that comes in and doesn't really care about things. When we approach a project, we really care about it. We want it to be a success, and we typically do whatever it takes to make it a success. And that's really one of SurvTech's, mottos here, especially with construction. We really pride ourselves in trying to service our clients, trying to be there on time, not letting them down, because we know the hardships a construction manager is going through, trying to manage all the different subs, trying to manage all the suppliers, trying to figure out when to get the concrete there. So as a lead AP, I know all those things. And on top of that, those everyday challenges, now he has a whole other set of challenges, and I'm aware of that. So we're very sensitive to our construction clients. In fact, I think that's why we get repeat business from construction companies, because we're there for them. We're team players.
Different sermons by Charles Spurgeon. He's really just it's incredible. And praying all the time and trying to really get my life on order. Not to come back and wrestling. I was just trying to get my life on order.
Sure.
And all of a sudden it happened. My sister was killed. Just,
Oh, wow.
And she was. It was so bizarre the way it happened. She was killed by a sheriff's deputy inside of her own jewelry store.
Oh,
but
no.
it was so bizarre the way it happened, and it was just so. I mean, it was like just getting slapped in the face.
Sure.
You know? And if not, had it not been, you know, for the 6 months previous, you know, that I had
Right.
been, you know, turning my life around and finding Christ, I would have, you know, I would have
Sure.
self-destructed.
Oh,
I
sure,
would have-
absolutely.
I would have probably killed someone. I would have, you know. I remember driving to the hospital from where we lived, and I drove to the hospital in Zephyr Hills, and as I got out of my car, there were 2 Zephyr Hills police officers waiting for me.
Oh, no.
And I heard, as I got out, I heard one of them say, "There he is." And they came over to me and they, look, she's not here anymore. And I was like, "Get out of my way." What do you
Yeah,
mean?
sure.
What do you mean she's not here, you know? And they were, you know, 'cause I guess, you know, somebody had told them, you know, that I was coming and, you know, I was going to be, you know, jacked up and I was going to be after somebody. And I just, like, you know, didn't know what to do, but it was only, you know, through the strength in Christ that, you know, I was able to, you know, keep it together, you know, and get through it. And even my brother, who's a pastor
Wow.
up in New York now, he was in the Army at the time. He even lost it, you know, at one point during the week.
Sure.
before
Oh,
service
sure.
and everything. Me and him, you know,
Attention members of
we kind of got into it over something stupid, and he started saying a bunch of bad things about me and stuff, you know, about my life, you know, and about things, you know. But he had known that I changed, you know, and I guess it was you know, someone was wanting me and him to, you know, to get into it. But I just looked at him, told him I loved him, and turned and walked out of my parents' house, you know, and let it die down, and, you know, he apologized to me the next day. You know, I mean, and it could have been a bad.
Oh, absolutely. Sure.
But I'm telling you, if it wasn't, you know, if it wasn't for that 6 months that I had, you know, I mean, God knew,
Yeah,
Christ knew
absolutely.
that I needed it. And I tell you, I probably would have done something really bad.
Well, and that's proof of God's influence in our life, even though at times, you know, we don't realize it. Or,
Right.
you know, you have the Spirit of Christ working, you know, with you the whole time, even
Yeah.
though, you know, you might not be able to see it at that time or understand, you know, what's going on with it.
Yeah.
And, you know, as terrible as that tragedy is, and I'm sorry to hear that, you still have that Christian faith, and you know that she, you know, is
Right.
in a better place, and you know that, you know, while we're here, it's a finite scenario.
Right.
And when we strive to perfection, when we strive to live up to the example of Christ, then we can partake in that salvation, and we'll all be together again.
Right, exactly. I just lost my aunt last month, or in June, the second week of June, and that was, you know, now, you know, I look at things so much more differently than I did before, you know.
Sure.
And it's amazing. And, like, I see a lot of these guys, you know, and I know a lot of these guys, you know, like, some people would say, you know, like I used to say, you know, I see somebody, you know, if they were a nice person, I'd always say, that guy's a pretty good guy and all, not really knowing, you know, knowing, you know, that really we're not pretty good, you know. I mean, we can think we're as good as
Hey, what's up, man? I'm good.
you know, we can, you know, with Christ, you know, we're not good, you know. I mean, we can be the best person, you know, or, you know, what we think is a good person. Well, he doesn't, you know, cheat on his wife, or he doesn't do this and that, you know. So, you know, he's a pretty good person, you know. If you're taking the world's point of view, that person might be a pretty good person, you know. But if you look at it through God's eyes, you know,
Right.
that person's not, man, because he has an account, you know. He has
Sure.
an account of what we've done. And there's, you know, that's why I was so happy, you know. I was just so